Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 47.
What's up, everyone? That was amazing. Ken already gave Chris a job to do that intro, and you know what? You might be fired, Ken. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm gonna get replaced already, man.
What's going on, Chris? It's Jimmy Old School Flips here with Chris Cajun Reseller and Ken SSKPromo Vintage Thrifter Picker Flipper. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Hey,
Living
Chris,
the life.
good to have you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on.
You added Old School to that name. Was that there before?
No, it was always old school. SS. Well, okay, Jimmy. Okay, well, first of all, here's what Jimmy is trying to be exactly like me. He wants to be, like the DOG. Jimmy's starting to get delusions of grandeur now because everything. And I live in Ohio. Jimmy wants to move to Ohio. I had my recently. I had my biggest sale ever on eBay. So naturally, Jimmy had to go and have his biggest sale on eBay.
I had mine pretty recently too, actually.
I was just going to say, didn't Chris just have his?
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Who was first?
I think I was first.
Oh.
Mine was $1,100.
Well, your item was more. I have 1,011 or 1,071. So I'm the low guy with total,
man,
but
who sold for the most?
Didn't I what was your big item, Jimmy?
I sold some Cutco knives.
Yes.
I paid $14.99, $14.99 for them at the thrift. And I sold the set for
like these guys.
Oh no, mine was that's awesome. But
I know it's bigger than that, but
I got $14.99 for mine.
$14.99. You sound like Jill when she does numbers. She's like 62,500. 62,500.
We know y'all don't do math. Y'all don't do math here anyway, so we know that.
We don't. So Jimmy, and then Jimmy also trying to be like me. I recently changed my name to the aforementioned SSKPromo Vintage Old School Thrifter Flipper Picker.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, I see you have a name.
Well, I'm actually not stealing that from you though. I'm not stealing the idea from you. I'm stealing it from Paul Philly Flipper, who's in Florida, and Dave the NC Picker from Florida.
Okay.
Well, I've decided I'm changing my legal name to Dallas.
Okay.
And my YouTube channel is going to be the Denver Picker. And so then I'm going to be Dallas, the Denver Picker from Ohio. Why not?
Why did you choose Dallas as a first?
I want to give me a cowboy hat and some boots.
So that means Jimmy's going to be a Cowboys fan now.
Now, whoa.
I mean, why else would you want a Dallas in a cowboy hat?
I don't know. Because the optics of a fat guy in a cowboy outfit is funny to me. I mean,
you need to go to a rodeo then ride a bull.
You won't even see the bull. It'll just be me. I've always joked with Sonia, like I joke about this stuff. I've always joked with Sonia, like she's like, "You need to get a cowboy hat." And I'm like, "Listen, big guys as big as me we don't look good in cowboy outfits. It just doesn't work."
Yeah, tight jeans.
There's all kinds of creases that are showing that shouldn't be showing and stuff like that.
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. Jimmy,
Have you ever ridden a horse, Jimmy?
I haven't. Nope.
No.
What
about you, Ken?
Kicked by a horse. I got kicked by. Yeah, I've ridden a horse, but I got kicked by a horse.
That explains.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun. That explains everything about Ken.
That's it right there. When I was a small child, I thought, "Hey, look at that horse!" And boom! Next thing you know, I was up against the porch, rolling across the yard.
All the characters in his head and all the characters just over his shoulder. It explains it all.
So we've got these guys talk to me, old school or old screen flips up there.
What about you, Chris? You rode a horse? Then you ride horse every weekend or what?
I haven't ridden a horse since Boy Scouts. We used to do Boy Scout camps back in the day.
Yeah,
that's when I rode horses. And you were just following behind somebody else, so it's not like it was a wild horse. I've always debated like going on cruises. You can do like horseback on the beach or whatever. That'd probably be fun. But I always do other excursions rather than that.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever find me on. I have Yeah, it will never happen in my lifetime.
They have one of those ones you put a penny in out in front of like Myers. And what is the name of that horse?
Oh,
Like Sally or what?
That horse
I
has a
forget what the
name.
name of it.
I've been
It
on
does.
carousel. Is that what they're called, horse?
Yeah.
No,
didn't
Jimmy
know it
would.
actually-
Yeah, Jimmy came to visit last year, and they have this beautiful carousel in downtown Mansfield, and Jimmy wouldn't ride it. He wouldn't even get on like one of. They have like benches. They have horses and giraffes and unicorns on this thing. Couldn't get
Listen.
Jimmy. He just.
Why would he want to?
There's one thing I don't do is
It's
circles.
an experience.
I don't
Circle, but that's a slow circle. Like fast
don't
circles, yeah, I can't do fast circles. Slow circles, I'm okay with. I think.
You guys have already brought up two things that make me just violently sick and nauseous. Cruises,
Horses and Ohio.
yeah.
Oh wait,
No, Ken.
But you're going to the reseller rally, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. And that's
That's on a boat.
When we were on that boat before it took off, I was staring at the ground.
Jimmy, he was pale white. He was like just, but it was great fun. It was when Jimmy got dancing.
I don't drink a lot at all. But when
Jimmy
I
out there doing the
that
electric
swing,
slide, the Macarena.
It helped.
Find something to counter it, counter the sway with the sway, and it did help.
Yeah.
I'll follow up and answer the question. It is Sandy. Sandy the Penny Pony is the horse that's in front of Myers. I don't know if do you guys have Myers department stores in your area?
We don't even have them. What is it similar to?
What is a Myers?
Myers is like a Target or a Walmart or something like that. They're a big chain that's out of Michigan, and we have them all around here.
Well, Jimmy's going to go to them whenever he moves there.
I'll be able to go to one when I get out there.
Yeah,
you will. Yeah, there's one in Mansfield and there's one in Marion, and then down Delaware. They're all around. But so Jimmy, we'll go to that topic. Are you moving to Ohio?
I am moving to Ohio, 100%. Well, so we put a bid in on a house, and we got it. We got the house.
Sweet.
We found out
Nice.
2 days ago. Oh no, yesterday we found out. No, 2 days ago we found out. No,
What?
I found out on Saturday.
That would be yesterday. Well, 2 days ago for this podcast.
No, I found out on Friday. So 2 days ago. Does it really matter? I found out.
No.
They don't know when we're recording, but it was the 31st.
I'm being like when my wife when Sonia tells a story, she's like, so we found out we were sitting at the table, the dogs were running around, they were playing. It's like nobody cares about.
We had just finished our morning coffee, and Jimmy likes sugar in his coffee, and a little bit of cream.
First cup. Yeah. So 2 days ago we found out we're getting the house. We just have to get through the inspection. That's
okay.
A couple days from now, they'll do the home inspection as long as everything.
Oh, it's a home inspection. It's not the neighbors in the neighborhood are wanting to inspect you to make sure that you're neighborhood
when they
worthy.
see me roll up, they're gonna be like,
that's what they're gonna be like, huh?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, here comes trouble. There goes the neighborhood.
The inspection's always interesting. They always find something. Whenever I got my house, they're like, "Oh, this and this don't fit together. This you need to do this." I'm like,
We've
it's
agreed.
Not super important.
We've agreed not to ask for any minor repairs or cosmetic stuff.
Okay.
But we just want to make sure there's no plumbing, electrical, roofing,
stuff you can't see.
Foundation issues.
Yeah. Foundation's one of the worst ones you can find.
Right. So as long as that all comes back good, it's a done deal. We've been pre-approved on our loan and everything. We submitted the paperwork for that today. Resubmitted. Awesome. So we're gonna be living in Bucyrus, Ohio.
How far away is that from Ken?
The bratwurst capital of
what was
it? They call it the bratwurst capital of the world. They call
the world, even though not like Germany somewhere.
Hey, they're even bigger than Germany. Well, there's a lot of German heritage in Bucyrus, and they have the bratwurst festival that's every year, and so you got that to look forward to.
I don't really like bratwurst a lot. It's okay to me.
Do you like festivals?
I do.
Festivals have elephant ears. They have Italian sausage.
Do they have funnel cake?
You never had an elephant ear?
What the heck?
I don't think I have.
I was like elf first. Like, what's an elephant ear?
An elephant.
Is it like a pork rind?
No, it's almost like a fried dough sort of a thing. It's big and flat. It's similar.
Is
It
that
would be
sugar?
similar to a funnel cake.
It looks
Okay.
nothing like an elephant.
Usually has like a cinnamony sugar on top, maybe some powdered sugar or whatever.
So it's
They're
a
really
funnel
good.
cake.
I've
Yeah,
never
and
even
it's-
heard of them.
But it's not really a funnel cake. It's more like a big flat thing. Very
Is this
good.
something
Elephant
you
ears.
put
Well,
your
there you
honey
go.
on?
The big flat thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking I was gonna ask that earlier, Jimmy, when you said you rode a horse, I was gonna tell you make sure that you lube up your honey hole. And so what to touch on that, what I'm talking about that, I got another viewer mail, and then I found out that Jimmy also got viewer mail at the same time. So somebody was
It's
so
honey for our hole.
we both got honey, and the
Y'all got the
note
same item.
says a gift for you for your hole from TMI.
Now,
Too much information in the last show about Jimmy wanting to pick my honey hole, and that's why he's moving here.
so Sonia, when she opened that box, you can imagine she hadn't watched the podcast yet, so that went over really well. She's like, "What's going on here?"
Honey for your hole, and Jimmy's been getting what'd you get? Some Crocs, some
Croc
Croc
stuff.
charms.
Yeah, I got
But
some.
so
Actually, they're right here. Look, I got them on my Croc right now.
oh, there he
My
goes.
plug
Jimmy's
and my phone.
styling.
Surprised the
Oh,
dogs don't
styling.
eat those.
I wore those to the
So-
store today. I was styling.
Whoever the pod, thank you to whoever keeps sending all these fun.
Now I do have a recommendation. Now mine will be used in dishes and meals in the future,
Okay,
but yours should be dressed up and become one of the
The
honey hole
mascots.
mascot.
I have to get a hat for him.
No, that's a little.
My-
I think that's a little
okay,
big.
so look at it. I got this OBX hat, right?
I got one.
Oh,
too.
Jimmy. Here, Chris. Oh, look at this. Hashtag reseller information network.
Hold on, I gotta get a screenshot of this. You guys keep talking about it. I'm gonna send that to Eric.
So
Yeah, maybe Eric's
I
got to
got-
watch it now.
so
All right,
I got this hat. I got this hat from Eric when I bought it on an auction. It was for a donation the night when they did the thing for Anthony, right? That was
Nate.
Nate. For Nate. And so I won this. I was like, I'll bid up the money if Eric signs it. You know, I want a signed hat, just like my Commonwealth on Commonwealth Hudson here. All signed by the Trash Cash guys. Look, look at that black bill with the nice silver on there.
I keep telling Ken he can't turn his head and talk.
I
He
turn
just
my
doesn't
head
listen
because
to me.
nobody can hear.
He's
and
talking
then,
to
look,
somebody over there.
Eric sent me this nice, beautiful hat right here with it signed it.
Wait,
Did he?
he signed where?
Where everybody squint
If you're
real
listening,
hard
we're looking at a black bill of the hat with
a black Sharpie marker. Come on, Eric. Black Sharpie marker. So I'm going to bring this hat with me. I don't know if Eric is going to what events he's going to be at. If he's going to Vegas or if he's going to the reseller rally. Is
He'll
where?
probably go to FlipCon.
FlipCon?
That's close.
FlipCon's just closest to him.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not sure if he's
maybe
going
I'll
the
have
rally
to
or
make
not.
and
You could just mail
but
it to
I
him.
need to get a decent signature from Eric. So yeah, the honey hat. Yeah,
No,
I'll
that's
have
not-
to.
Like some Monster High doll clothes or someone put it on there and turn it into another mascot. You would have to, I don't know what name you would give it.
I got a good idea, Jimmy. Something we had talked about earlier on. I'm gonna
All right.
put my Clover honey
Oh.
right back here.
I'm not sure if I want to know.
That's her nickname is Clover.
Clover honey.
Clover.
So anyway, Chris,
Go ahead.
how you been? How you doing? We just kind of
Huh?
we have a guest down here, Chris.
Right, and I even said, "Hey, once we get started, introduce yourself," and then we just rambled on for the first 14 minutes. So, tell us about, for those that don't know, Chris, Cajun Reseller, the Plush King. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a reseller. What we want to know about the plush. You
Hey,
sell.
Jimmy, if you be quiet for a second, he could answer the question. I think he understands the concept of introducing himself. Ready?
My name is Chris Cajun Reseller. I love selling plush and anything else that'll make me money. I started full-time reselling in February or March of 2020 when the pandemic happened, and I got laid off from my job that I had. So my job was a chemical engineer. I have my bachelor's in chemical engineering and my master's in business. So those are my 2 degrees that I use to eventually become a reseller. Yeah. Probably not the smartest idea, but
how did that help you with selling plush? You're like Carrie.
So wait a minute. You were a chemical engineer with also a master's in business, and now, yeah, you almost got as many degrees as Carrie. You know, what's he got? 3 degrees.
I don't want any degrees.
You do, yeah, you know, Matt. That's probably why he does better than us, Jimmy. That's probably why he's selling on all the platforms. He's on eBay, he's on Mercari, he's on Poshmark, he's on Amazon,
Facebook,
Amazon, and Facebook. Man,
but I'm not on Whatnot.
Are you going to be on Whatnot?
No, Whatnot's not worth the trouble for me, at least. Unless I'm moving like Jimmy is, then I might do it if I was planning on moving somewhere and wanting to get rid of a lot of stuff fast.
Yeah,
I think it's worth it then. Like Paul used it a lot for his whenever he was moving to Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure. I had a really good, real quick shout out to Dave, the NC picker. He helped me out with my most recent sale, and it was definitely my most successful sale I've ever had.
Yes.
And something I want to talk to you about, Chris, actually after the podcast. But yeah, thank you, Dave. We joke around with them a lot over at the Trash Cash, but they really are awesome guys. He helped me out a lot.
Yes.
And, they know I'm moving, so that was really awesome. I'm not gonna be all mean and joking this episode. I'm just gonna thank you.
I mean, speaking of names, NC Picker, Flipper, Builder, Trash to Cash, Cooking, and whatever, he's got like 5 different names too or something.
Yeah, he's a lot. He's got all those different names too.
He does.
And none of them have anything to do with Florida.
That's true. They're all NC. That's true.
So you sell your biggest platform is Amazon. Would you say is Amazon or your best platform?
For the last couple of years it has. This year Amazon's going pretty slow, but for the last how many years, Amazon. I think whenever I actually did my numbers, I finally finished doing my spreadsheet so I can do my taxes. Yay, taxes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I've been working on today.
Amazon was like 41%, eBay was like 30%, and then like Posh and Mercari were like 6 for Mercari and like 2 for Posh and Facebook or something. Basically it's Amazon and eBay are the main platforms. Of course, today I had like 7 sales on Mercari and maybe 3 on eBay. So Mercari is weird because it'll go in spurts from selling a lot to not selling anything.
I think that's the most anyone has ever sold in one day on Mercari.
On Mercari, that's
like in the history of Mercari.
Do you find certain items sell better on either, like, we keep calling you, everybody knows you as the plush king guy. Are you selling more of those on one platform over the other?
eBay obviously has the traffic, so it's always going to be eBay. Right. But Amazon's where I sell a lot of the Squishmallow.
I was going to say you did. I know during the holiday season you are. Plush. Now it has to be new with tags, right, to sell it on Amazon.
It doesn't have to be, but you can sell collectible like new or used on Amazon. But I almost always sell new just because it's easier, and I don't feel like trying to take. Sometimes you're supposed to take pictures if it's like collectible or used on Amazon. So I'd rather just.
I have not done Amazon at all. What is it? It's like you get fenced in or something, like you get
gated.
Got a fence. Oh, gated. You get
defense.
You get fenced.
Gated or restricted, whatever you want to call it. Most people call it gated, but on your phone it actually says restricted or requires approval or something like that.
Okay.
And there's a lot of information in getting unfenced, as Ken would call it. Is that something you've? And I don't want to go into detail, but is that something you've been able to get ungated in a lot of stuff? Or usually, I know that helps with the success over there.
Yeah, usually it's just asking for approval, and they'll give it to you for books. At least they will. For DVDs, you have to do an actual invoice. That's the only way to get ungated for DVDs. But it's not too hard for most stuff.
Because I'll say I did Amazon for a while, and I was having trouble being able to put some of the plush that I found on there.
Yeah.
So I don't. But you know, it's not just getting invoices though. Just real quick, it's not just getting invoices. It's also establishing yourself. Sometimes you can get ungated just by selling and getting positive feedback.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah.
Yep. So
I think it's just because of my sales history on there is why I get ungated.
Yeah. But that's way too much reseller talk. What else are we talking about?
What we're just chit chatting. I see Chris is finally an official YouTube reseller now.
He's taking it seriously now.
Because he's got the big old beard. Seems like all the guys that really get into it in the end, they grow the big old beard. And
yeah, both of y'all guests have had beards, right? Troy and now me.
That's one of the it's actually one of the written
requirements.
Yeah.
But
and
you don't
Danica,
even have a beard, Demi.
Danica had a nice beard going on when she was on.
We actually didn't have Johnson picker on because he doesn't have a beard.
That's right. Yeah, John. When he came to the show that day, we're like, oh, no beard, no beard, you know.
Yep.
Jill and Sonia, when they took over, they had nice beards working then. Oh, I'm in trouble. I should.
When are they coming back on?
I don't know.
We're trying. We're trying to
now
work
Sonia's
something out.
Gonna be the next Whatnot superstar. She's taking over Whatnot.
Yeah, that show was fun. The other Jimmy had a cool the show that he was talking about earlier that Dave did a raid and right after his show and everybody came over to Jimmy's show and it was just a blast. It was fun.
Yeah.
All the plush that they were selling and Sonia was I could envision Sonia. She was probably you couldn't see her, but she was probably back there dancing. You could just tell how happy she was.
No, she wasn't actually. She was actually upset and she was like, "Are we done yet?" Off the.
Oh, she was not. She was Jimmy. Did
y'all play any? Did y'all play any music?
No, we didn't.
No, don't do that. That's annoying.
Yeah, don't. You just hit a nerve with Ken.
Yeah, okay. Some people have music and they're in their
now. Just so you know, this is all he's going to talk about the rest of the
and it's just too loud and it's annoying and it takes away from the person and the fun and the personality. And I know that was suggested by Whatnot. You know, don't have any dead air. Have some music, something going in the background. Now, I will say I watched people like Paul, Philly Flipper, he does those Whatnots and he has some music going on, but he'll sing and he'll comment on the songs and stuff. And he has it at a volume that's like acceptable. Plus he plays good tunes. Some people have this like loud stuff that's going on and it's just Whatnotters. It's annoying. I'm like that. It's too loud. I'm like grandma at the wedding, reception. And they always set grandma right up front. And right up front was always, when I used to DJ and I used to do weddings and you're usually set up front someplace right there near like the main table. And they always put grandma up there. And then you go to play music for the dance. And there's grandma just like, turn it down. It's too
I feel like we need that disclaimer. The comments expressed by Ken SSKPromo are not the views of this show or any like one of those disclaimers.
Don't judge us based on what Ken says.
Exactly. Yeah, we got two people on the show, so Jimmy's the only one, with actually quality content on the show. Don't pay any attention to. Or,
but Jimmy doesn't have a beard, so is it really quality? I mean, Jimmy's got a little.
Here's the deal. I tried to grow a beard once, and it's like I'll use an old joke that an old friend said. When I can only grow a summer beard, I can only some over here, some over here.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's terrible.
So, Chris, you also get into storage. Your biggest sale. We were talking about our biggest sales. Your biggest sale, you buy storage lockers.
Oh yeah,
and your biggest sale came from a storage locker.
Yep.
Is that correct?
$1,100 for a book.
For a book?
DSM.
Did it have like
1.
pop-ups in it or something? Like
Nope. It's just the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
Wow.
First edition.
Which
is why it's sold for so much.
They've added more disorders since then. I gotcha.
They've actually taken some of the ones away that were in that book.
Well, they took some out.
Yeah. Some stuff used to be disorders that's not anymore.
Yeah, that they don't consider to be disorders because that's what Jill. It was.
I'm going to tell you right now, real quick. That's the kind of book Sonia would read. Well, I have that.
Yeah.
Well, I have that. Well, I have that. she would be there for days. Just, well, I have that. Sorry.
She gets stuck on WebMD, does she? And like, oh no.
The worst case scenario is what you always see when you look up something. It's like, I have this symptom.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's what the symptoms.
She would self-diagnose the crap out of herself.
There was an old Brady Bunch episode where Peter, he got the medical book out and he thought that he was going to die, and he started to do all this stuff. Yeah. And it turns out like the 2 pages were stuck together. I'm not sure, maybe Greg was using the book beforehand or something, but there were 2 pages were stuck together, and he had poison ivy is what it was. He wasn't going to die.
That's great. So storage lock, because I've had some success with them. And do you have your own truck? Do you do it all by yourself? Anybody help you? Because I know it's a lot of work. Like we usually don't do an interview, but these are questions I need to know the answer to.
I do it by myself usually. Yeah.
That's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, it's usually 5x5, 5x10. They're not that big.
And
I'll borrow the parents' minivan.
Done?
I'll borrow my parents' minivan.
Okay, that's cool.
Or if it's a big item like a mattress or a piano, like I got that one time. Y'all haven't seen that video yet. I haven't put it out, but I got a piano. I had to pay somebody $300 to remove that piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Bad idea.
I definitely, when there's a mattress or a bigger TV, I try to avoid them. For now. Yeah. Now, I do say you can make a lot of money if you have the ability to get rid of stuff like that. And you can bid on those lockers, because those lockers usually don't get bid up. And
in the past, I've actually sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace, had them come and pick it up from the unit to avoid having to get a U-Haul.
That's what I was going to say. I remember you sold like a kitchen table set or something one time. Just put it on Facebook. Next day, person came and picked it up.
That was like 2 years ago, I think, that unit, 2 or 3 years ago. That's how long I've been doing it.
Dang, I've only done a couple, and I'm definitely into the profit room. I'm gonna do more when I get to Ohio. That's something me and Sonya talked about.
Yeah, you're gonna recruit Ken to do it, right?
Now, yeah,
Ken's gonna help you out.
Ken's immediately he said no.
No,
immediately he said no. I'm not having Ken. I'm just there to take all of his deals. He's gonna try to get up earlier than me. He's gonna go to all my yard sales. He's gonna pick all the good stuff.
Yep.
And so that's why I'll be moving to Denver shortly. And I'll change my name to the, whatever, something that's unrelated.
Can you add any more letters? I don't think StreamYard's going to let you add any more
I think that's
letters to that. I think it's about as full as you can get it. Maybe you can add a couple more there, but
hey, don't be taking my name, the Denver Picker, now.
Dallas.
Don't be.
Is there actually a Denver Picker? Is there somebody called the Denver Picker?
I don't think so.
Which I never heard of, but there is.
Chris, I think your most interesting, the story that I thought was cool. We were kind of talking off air about the storage locker that you just bought, where you got the book that was $1,100. How much did you pay for that locker?
Well, technically speaking, $30, but I found enough quarters from some quarter books, state quarters, to pay for the unit. So that's I didn't pay anything. I had it paid off whenever I opened that one box that had quarters in it.
Did you go up to the main office and just with a big bag full of change and just dump them out to pay for the unit?
Well, they're not going to let you see the unit until you actually pay them for it.
Oh,
so.
I myself would have went down to Myers and just rode that horse over. And
Sandy, the penny pony.
Sandy, right? Ride Sandy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think the most interesting story he's ever talked about, and I don't know the details, so I want to talk about it, is the grossest thing he's ever found in a locker.
Oh, yes.
Forget the quarters.
This wasn't a locker. Well, this
wasn't a locker?
This was at a garage sale.
Oh, at a garage.
It's worse than any locker. It's worse than any locker ever.
Okay.
So I went to a townwide yard sale 2 weeks ago, and it's like this old barn that she hasn't been in forever. I find these Callaway Big Bertha golf clubs. I'm like, okay, these are really good. It's a very good brand of golf clubs. I ask her how much. She says $50. I'm like, and then she said, okay, I'll do it for $25. So she's pulling them out of there and bringing them to the area where I'm gonna pay her. And a rat runs out of it. She's like, I hope that didn't come from the golf bag. So I'm like, that's not a good sign, is it? So I pay $25. I get the golf clubs, get them in the car. I go home. I don't take them out of the car that night. That was a big mistake. Big mistake. I get out there the next morning to get in the car. I think to go to the post office or go somewhere. It smells like death in the car. Like,
oh no,
really bad. I pull the clubs out, and there's 3 dead rat babies in the car. So those babies had just been born. They'd just been born like the day or two before, because they were still like, I've had gerbil babies before. We used to have gerbils back in the day. We'd have little babies, and it'd be fun to see them grow up or whatever. They looked just like those, no hair yet. It was so gross.
Oh man.
Okay, hey,
I
Jimmy,
used a paper towel to pick them up and put them in the trash can, and I just took the trash can out to the curb. I was like,
I lied. I like the quarter story better.
But Jimmy, good
you
call
don't like that
on
story?
Good call on not making the thumbnail before the show, Jimmy, because I think
What's the grossest thing y'all ever found reselling wise? I know you, Jimmy, you've done storage units, so what's the grossest thing y'all ever found?
Jimmy, I was walking along at a sale and I looked over and no, wait.
Cleveland Browns sweater. No,
So,
you know, nothing comes to mind right away. I mean, to me, the grossest thing is I bought a PlayStation 3 once, and I plugged it in and turned it on, and when the internal fan started blowing air out of it, it's like my house turned into like a 70s club where people had been smoking all night long. Like,
that's
it
the word.
was because public smoking back then, right?
Yeah.
It was awful. And I just have a sensitivity towards cigarette smell, smoke.
Yeah.
And it was just so frustrating because I spent good, I thought I was going to make good money on it. And it was, once it gets on the inside of that, oh my gosh, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's impossible to get out.
I can't think of anything really disgusting that I've found.
I've gotten roaches in storage units. I haven't gotten mice yet, but I've gotten roaches. That's it's part of the game with storage units is roaches. But
yeah. I mean, the worst storage locker was it had a ton of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah,
the little pipes and the little that was probably the grossest thing. And just put your gloves on, kids. Yeah.
So, Jimmy, you had said there at first the grossest thing you had ever found was a Cleveland Browns jersey or whatever. So, are you going to, when you move to Ohio, is your allegiance going to change in your
from the Broncos
team? From the Broncos.
Well, I got to start off by asking Chris.
Hold on.
I know where he's going with his answer, but I need to know at least, is there a chance? Because the Broncos got a new coach, and their new coach was the coach for the Saints for quite a few years. Now, I do want to start off by saying it's coming out that the Broncos' previous coaching staff was horrific. Like, probably the worst staff ever put together in the history of the NFL. And the stuff is starting to come out how bad it was. He's going to make it better, but is he a good coach? Sean Payton, he used to coach the Saints. Do we have a good coach over here, or should I pull?
He won one Super Bowl out of how many seasons?
Right.
I feel like they always failed when they got, at least they made it to the playoffs, which Saints hadn't done, forever before before he got there. So at least made the playoffs almost every year, but I feel like he underachieved. That's just my opinion. Okay. But if he can turn Russell Wilson around, you got a shot, but it's an if.
Well, so I think I'm going to give the Broncos another year to see if he does.
Well, you're not going to switch to the Browns, right? I mean, there's plenty of other teams you can pick other than the Browns. You got to pick somebody better than that. The Bengals number one.
I think I would lean towards the Bengals if I switched.
No, you wouldn't. You got here. Okay, hold on. Let me explain. Hush.
Oh boy.
Let me explain Ohio sports to you.
All right.
Okay. If you are north of Columbus, you're a Browns fan. Okay. There's sprinkled all over, but Browns have actually a big fan base all over. But if you're north of Columbus, you're going to be a Browns fan in Ohio. Or in the world, I guess.
Well, how close can you get to Detroit before you start getting the Lions fans?
Oh, we're Toledo. If you're in Toledo, you're probably a Lions fan, or you could be.
The farthest bit east, because then you're talking about Browns. Oh, you are? Okay, Browns. Okay.
Will you hush up and let me finish my story, Jimmy?
Too.
You got Well, okay. You what was I talking about?
If you're north of Columbus, you're a Browns fan.
If you're in the Columbus area, all you care about is Buckeyes football. That's it. That's all the all the Buckeyes fans are there. If you are south of Columbus, most likely you're going to be a Cincinnati fan with the Bengals. And so that kind of divides the state up. And then we have some other fans we like to call a-holes, I guess, to clean A. And those are the ones that follow the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're from Ohio. They're, oh, I hate the Browns. I'm a Pittsburgh State. Or those that root for the Michigan Wolverines that are in Ohio. Yep. And they root for, they usually call them around here. They usually won't even pronounce Michigan. They always just call them the team up north. Or whenever it's the day of the Ohio State Michigan, the game it's called.
That's not the game.
Everywhere on the Columbus campus, any place where there's a sign with an M on it, they mark through the M like with tape, so that the big blue M that they use. So, but that's Ohio sports right there. You either got Browns fans, Buckeyes fans, Bengals fans, or a-holes. That
we have a-holes here, the Raiders fans that live in Denver. That we have them. I have a question though, like why are they called, like, I think I know why they're called the Browns. They're named after the original owner or something like that, right?
Jim Brown.
Like, can we just
Paul
Brown?
Paul.
Can we just give them an actual sports team name? Like, can we stop calling them the Browns?
Well, like, I don't know. What are you going to name them? What are you going to name your team now that's not offensive to somebody or some group or something? It's like, we got the Guardians around here now because apparently
thought they were the
views expressed by Ken SSKPromo are not the no, but like, is there what other sports teams are named after the original owner? Are there any other sports ball teams that are named after the owner?
I doubt it.
And then with the history, Paul Brown started the Browns, and then he sold the team and went and started the Bengals. And the Brown family owns the Bengals.
And then the Ravens are the Browns, but they were smart.
I thought the Ravens. Yeah.
Yes, when Art Modell
they won a Super Bowl right after they left.
That's awesome.
Yes,
that's gotta feel good, huh, Ken?
And the Cleveland Browns. I know the Cleveland Browns won. I don't know how many championships before they started the Super Bowl.
Right.
Then it's not a real championship
with Jim Brown and stuff. And then they started the Super Bowl. We've never been. We're one of the like 3 teams or something that's never even got a sniff of Super Bowl air.
And you're trying to tell me I should be a Browns fan over a Bengals fan?
Oh yeah, we're diehard.
Super Bowl.
The Bengals aren't much better.
Yeah,
they are lately, but in the past they've been pretty bad.
Yeah, they are, had been historically ranked one of the worst teams, the Bengals, but they have their moments. They all of a sudden they're just this super team, and then back to the dismal. But I'm sure the
Bengals have LSU.
They got Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's an Ohio kid to begin with, and he's just, I like Joe Burrow. I like what the Bengals are doing, but I'm not going to be a Bengals fan. I don't have like a love or a hate for them. It's just like, they're down there in the lower left corner of the state, and they can stay down there as far as I'm concerned. So, I
feel like that's a lot of sports ball talk. Did we have other topics that we were going to talk about? I mean, we us 3 could talk sports ball all day, and I would.
Yeah.
Sure. And I call it sports ball because I know non-sports fans like to call it sports ball as a joke, like a derogatory thing, I think. So I'll go with it. What else do we have to talk about, Ken? You're supposed to keep us on track. Uh-oh. He didn't write in big enough font, folks.
No, I was just looking over to see what things that we had talked with Chris about that we wanted to talk about.
We didn't talk about 127 yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
The 127 last year, the Trash to Cash. We're pulling
out. I got my old school flips hat.
Jimmy,
But
old
it's not,
school.
it's not,
I
it's not
actually
signed.
autographed that right there on the bill.
I'll say, oh yeah, since you can't see if
In
you did or
black
not.
marker. If you look
Yeah.
up.
You and Eric went to the same stationery store to buy your markers for
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to get, I've got my markers over here to sign all my headshots here
Oh my gosh.
when I'm out.
You
But
can use
yeah,
a
so we
black
pull up at
marker
the
with that.
127. We're pulling at the Trash Cash Barbecue Bash, and oh man, wonder who's going to be here and stuff. And we pull up, and it's like this ray of light from the heavens is shining down. It's like, no way, is that Chris Cajun Reseller? And like Jimmy and I are both.
Like I was driving, and
out.
I'm like, put it in park because I'm out of the car running. Like it's still rolling. I'm running over there to say hi to Chris. I was like, someone put that thing in park.
Since we both went to the wrong spot, hopefully they have it marked better at this one y'all are going to in Vegas, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember how we
Yeah.
couldn't find where it was because there's this tiny little sign that's
right.
like 4x4.
Yeah, it was a little like a paper plate.
Yeah,
It was
it's like a garage sale sign.
For the...
It's one of those bad garage sale signs that you can't ever read the address or the time or the date on.
Right. They broke the rules of signs for sure.
Hashtag pet peeves.
And we were all lost. We were all wandering the woods of Tennessee, just lost.
Yeah, it was like 10 of us. I know Matt Thrifter Sifter was with us. He's the one I think eventually found out where we were supposed to go.
Right.
Yeah, everybody was trying to call, Dave or Carrie or somebody and said, where are we supposed to be? And we were like completely on the wrong side of the park. And
we were supposed to be the music
park
that night. We were the band. So they actually had to get a family band to do the show instead of us because we were late. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Is that what they were, a family?
Yeah.
So we got to meet Chris. I got to meet Chris for that. Jimmy, I think that was the first time you got to meet.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Chris.
I was shocked.
And that was a fun night. We got to hang out. And then after the event, we had all went back to where Eric and Tim over the years was saying, and they were doing a whatnot auction of hats that they had bought that weekend at the 127.
Not just the hats. They bought like 1,100 hats. Like how many hats did they?
I did a video on it. It was 800 and something, I think.
800. Okay.
Just ridiculous. And they did a live whatnot like right that night and selling those hats. But we got to hang out with Chris that night and then went back to where Jimmy and Sonia were staying and hanging out. And then I had to go home the next day, but you guys got to hang out all the next day.
Kids. You can say it. The cool kids got to go to yard sales the next day.
Yeah, you guys got to hang out, but I went, and I hooked up with, Carrie and Dave and Danny Pickwa,
Yeah.
We were hitting Uncle Steve.
He ditched us, is what he did.
Uncle Steve Picker,
Kind of sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yep.
We were, in that neighborhood with those guys, and but you guys got to hang out all day, doing some thrifting. So you guys, chat and reminisce amongst yourselves. I'll just be over here.
The first thing that comes to mind for me, but the story doesn't translate well when you tell it.
Nope.
But I swear, me, you, Eric, and Sonia almost died of laughter on that moment that we had. I had bought a Mr. Goodbar at like a Dollar General, and I forgot. I didn't eat it right away. And we're in Tennessee. It's summer. It's humid. It's hot, and it had started to melt a little bit. And it's like all. So I was like, I put the candy bar in the air conditioner vent, right?
Yep.
And I was so it would cool off some, and then I would eat it right away. Well, I put it in there, and then we stopped, and I forgot.
And you forgot to eat it.
And we went inside and ate lunch and everything, right? And then we got back in the car, and so we're driving around, and I don't remember what Eric was talking about, but he was talking about something like he was trying to take a picture of a piece of inventory, and it wouldn't stand up, and it kept flopping over or whatever. And so just out of nowhere, Chris just said the funniest thing in the world to me because the way it all went together, he's all.
That Mr. Goodbar's pretty floppy.
Yeah, that Mr. Goodbar's looking pretty floppy too. And
then we all
at the
just
same time look at the Mr. Goodbar in the air conditioner vent. It's just bloop hanging down
with a big blob at the bottom of it because it's just all in one piece. The chocolate, the peanuts, whatever's in a Mr. Goodbar, it was just at the bottom.
Eric almost wrecked because he started laughing so hard. Like we were all not breathing laughing when we saw that. And I know the story isn't as funny when you tell, but if you guys would have been there, hilarious.
Did you eat the Mr. Good bar?
I don't think I did. I think it was completely removed.
You threw it away?
It became like, what are those? It became like a Ferrero Rocher ball.
Yeah, that's true. It just came up, yeah. You could have put it in the freezer, though.
That's true. I should have. I don't think I ate it. I don't think I did. Anyways, that was that day was so much fun, though. We had a blast. That was,
Yeah.
There's some video of that day. I didn't get the Mr. Good bar incident, but there's a video out there of us at the 127 with Chris. Yeah. I didn't get
I feel like
video.
I didn't find all that much at it.
That was rough down there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
next
so-
year we got to go to Kentucky, Ohio area.
Well, you're gonna have to come up, Chris.
Oh yeah, it's true. You're going to be there now.
Yeah. See that? I was able to say that. I feel good. You're gonna have to come up.
Yeah.
Look, I invited you first, Kendon.
Yeah, I see, but now he's gonna come because Jimmy's there. I see Chris, you're playing favorites, you know.
Well,
I'm
you
just
should come up for the 127 and then the next week in the Highway
Yeah.
30.
Highway 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should, man.
I've known Jimmy for a long time, Ken. So you got a couple years to make up for.
Yeah,
he can take your old room, Jimmy, at the cabin
that's a good call.
if he comes
Well, Jimmy
up
can
for
just
the
stay at
130.
Jimmy can stay at the cabin too.
I want to stay at the cabin.
Yeah.
Nancy, I love the cabin. I know you're watching. I love the cabin.
Yeah, it's Chris, we're gonna talk about that if whatever your travel plan. Of course, are you going to FlipCon?
I don't think so.
Okay, because
Yeah,
FlipCon
what
is
events
They moved it
you
up.
like to keep your events top secret, like
Yeah.
Peaches to Peaches or Peaches to Beaches.
yeah, because Chris goes to like all these things. All of a sudden, it's like you see videos and it's like, here's Adam Baldy Powell. Look who we found. It's Chris Cajun Reseller. Or all these things. I didn't do the Peaches to Beaches. I guess I didn't really wasn't on my radar. That would have been a long drive, and I'm not sure that I would have went. But
Yeah. I mean, it's still a long drive for
that's
me.
where I get all my FOMO from. I was looking for my FOMO sign. It was right there.
I think it was probably a 10-hour drive for me, but I cut it into half because I stayed in Pensacola, Florida one night with my friends that live there, and then I drove up to Perry, Georgia the next night. So I split it up into like 4 hours and 6 hours.
How was that picking? Was it good? Did you find some good stuff out there?
It rained on Friday, so not really. But Saturday I found those little Super Y. I got props. Super Y from PBS Kids. One of these sold for $76.
Shut the front door.
Really?
I paid 75 cents for each. 75 cents for each one.
Wow.
They're gonna it's gonna be long tail because they don't sell that fast. But I already made a money back selling one, and I still got like 53 left of them. So
53?
yeah.
Holy
Wait,
smoke!
now, are you selling those on Amazon or on eBay? Or
eBay. I couldn't find them on Amazon.
Okay.
Well, they're listed on eBay, Mercari, Facebook. So they're listed on all three platforms. I've sold one so far on eBay.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I actually do I have the GoPro of that. So once I put out that video, that'll be fun. The negotiating back and forth with the guy or whatever. So I actually used the GoPro on the second day of Peaches to Beaches. I broke out the GoPro.
Uh-oh, he's got to put on. What are you doing?
I feel like I should be with the show.
You're not a ball cap guy.
We should be, well, and that, it's got this big old goofy looking straight bill on it.
The brim doesn't. Yeah, I haven't
what bill?
formed it yet.
Huh?
The straight bill?
formed.
Yeah, this straight, goofy looking.
Like that one's autographed too. If you look closely.
Oh wait, did Jimmy? Is it?
Oh shoot! It's not.
Yeah, it'd be easy to autograph that one underneath.
Yeah, it's not. Well, Jimmy, I'm gonna have to get my hat signed by
I'll sign
you.
the sticker so you can see it.
Yeah, well, you could sign the green, but I also got my my markers that a viewer sent me. But I thought I thought I should look like the part of everybody.
You should wear that hat more often.
I should when I'm out and
You
about.
look like you could drop a rap album right now. Don't do it. Don't do it again.
Is Ken good at rhyming?
No, it's terrible.
No,
not on demand.
No, not on demand. Yeah.
How do you usually start your rap? Let's hear it. It's awful.
When I always say, Jimmy, drop a load on him.
That sounds awful. Do you realize what you're saying right there?
That doesn't translate well. Speaking of don't translate.
That's why we don't allow Ken to rap ever.
Well, it's from what is the song?
I don't know. I
Don't
know.
ask me.
I'm too live crew, I'm sure.
It's I'll think of it.
Folks. Yeah, we don't allow Ken to rap for that reason alone, because that's how he starts all of his rap songs.
You're supposed to be dropping a load at that point, Jimmy.
It's not dropping a load though.
What is it?
Inappropriate what you're saying.
Yeah, you do realize that, right?
I didn't make it up.
Now. And I really don't want. Let's just change the record. It's drop a beat or something like that.
No, it's okay. I've just looked it up. It's from the song OPP. Who's down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Well, the first line, it says, Dave, drop a load on him. You know, it's got that beat going on. And then
keep going.
Dave,
This is
Jimmy.
This is gold.
He's digging that. He's just digging the hole.
And I was actually started to write rather than the OPP. I was working on a because I am a rhyming wordsmith, but not like on demand. You can't just like all of a sudden go, hey, you know, start rapping or start rhyming.
He needs a piece of paper and a pencil and large font.
Yes, I write really big.
I'm terrible at rapping as well. I would have no idea how to rhyme anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't try. I don't.
Yeah,
ever
that too.
Now you
I can play the. I'll play the trumpet. I'll play the trumpet, but I'm not gonna.
You can play the trumpet.
I used to be able to.
All
I played
right.
in the band. I played in the band from 5th grade until the end of college at Louisiana Tech. So
wow, that's awesome.
Man, he's got degrees.
He does math. He
does math. He plays instruments. He sells on multi-platforms.
I'm the only one that doesn't play an instrument.
Did you ever try?
Did you?
I'm more of a lead singer.
You're the front man. Jimmy's a front man.
You guys didn't see me doing karaoke in Vegas?
I saw it. I saw it. Not sure if I have a good opinion about it, but I saw it. You gonna recreate that?
On stage, he's just like David Lee Roth, you know, with them high kicks and
high kicks. Yeah.
Hey, we should do karaoke at the 127.
It looked more like he was trying to get gum off his shoe than he was trying to get, you know, do a high kick.
You need to take lessons from those Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Your name's gonna be Dallas now. You got to do the high kick.
Yeah, that's right.
You could be what are the ladies at Christmas time on
the Rockettes.
Rockefeller Center? Yeah, the Rockettes. Yes.
Man, that's messed up. But that kick was funny. Sonia, that was another Sonia died laughing when she saw that. She made fun of me for days about that.
I bet so.
And I don't have the video, but I just know I was like, and part of the song, he goes kicking a hole. And when he said kicking a hole, I just do this little beep, the saddest little kick ever when I rap that part because I can rap.
Yeah. Oh, word to your mother, Jimmy. Speaking of my mother, she's probably listening, and she's probably disappointed in me, in my, you know, I don't know.
In what? She's listening right now?
No, she's not listening right. Yeah, my mother sits right here beside me when I'm recording the podcast. No, when she's watching.
Why would she be disappointed in you? I mean, it's obvious, but I want to know if you know why.
No, I have to ask her someday. Mother, why don't you? No. Anyway, I don't know. So, Chris, what do you got coming up? What's coming up with CHRIS Cajun Reseller?
Hopefully some storage unit videos. I got a lot that I need to edit together, including the one that book $1,100 book sold for. It's kind of funny because whenever I did that storage unit, I had no idea there was that many books in there worth so much money. So it's not going to look like I found anything when I showed the video from it. Right. But
yeah,
then I'm debating going to. There's a flea across Florida at the end of April, I think. So I might go to that.
Do some clickbait. You got to do some clickbait in your title, man. Because, and I say that because it's hard to make books exciting.
Yeah.
So you got to do something that, you know.
I don't know. How about just hold up a book and put $1,100 on it and everybody will click on it?
No, but play on what the book was about.
Oh.
like the theme of the book. Try to
Yeah.
find some. Don't be Ken and be inappropriate with it, but just find something that will a play on what the book is about.
Yeah. Well, if I was Ken, I would never actually put out a video about it. So
Yeah, that's a fact. Now that is what I'm.
So anyway,
gave him
Jimmy,
too much power.
well-
I'm sorry, Chris. I gave him way too much power. He kicked
both of us off at some point in this episode.
That was a good one though. That was a whole the Mr. Goodbar moment again, right there.
So I think we are going to, Chris. I was asking what you were going to wrap this one up for another episode. Chris, it was great having you. I'm looking forward to seeing you out and about at some of these events. And,
hopefully, I'll be able to catch up with y'all again at 127/Highway Byway, whatever that thing's called.
Yeah, the Lincoln Highway Byway route.
Taking notes from you. Lincoln Highway Byway Route 30 sale from
on the old Route 30.
Yeah, it's gonna
old
give
Route
it like
30.
five different names, like your name.
Yeah. If you go on the new Route 30, I mean that's like 65 mile an hour. You get ran over real quick, slamming on the brakes to park. But so Jimmy, what else? What do you got coming up? What's going on?
No, what my.
The sky is falling.
I don't have any footage, so once I go to Vegas, then I'll start putting some videos out again because I'm going to be going to Vegas in 3 weeks, and I'll start sourcing some. And actually, the weather here, I might hit some sales here.
So you don't got any yard sales?
Not really, not yet. We had this weekend there was a couple out there, but I was one of them. So what you found? Pokemon
GameCube
Coliseum?
$4.
That game is worth more than that console.
Exactly.
$4, you said?
$4 for both of these.
I'm moving to Louisiana.
Yeah, that's where I should move.
That's just that was one thing I found. That was one thing I found this weekend.
So those listening, he found a GameCube with Pokemon Coliseum, and that game is worth more than the console.
Oh yeah, it's worth at least 100 on Amazon.
Crazy, awesome, fine, man. Yeah, I'm gonna hit some sales, and I'll have some content.
I thought you were gonna stop doing sales until you move, Jimmy, because you're not trying to get content.
Yeah, this show's gonna be longer than normal. That's fine with me because you're talking about stuff I want to talk about now.
Okay.
The rest of the show, I didn't want to talk about any of that stuff. I've been here the whole time, bored out of my mind. I've decided I'm going to be super picky, and I'm going to be treasure hunting. Like I'm looking for the rare
$100
every
plus.
video. I'm going to start off the video with, "Hey, I'm moving soon, so I'm going to be passing over stuff that maybe I would normally buy." So I'll talk about that a little bit. But since I'm moving, I'm looking for video games, rare collectibles, and toys and stuff that I know will sell fast for good money. Like, why would I stay home when I could come across that GameCube that Chris just found?
Yep,
that's true.
And I need the footage. I need the videos. I need to put some videos.
I know him, Chris. He's not going to be able to pass that stuff up.
No,
He's not going to be able to pass up.
I went to the thrift the other day and I only bought 2 things. I bought a Made in the USA Jansport backpack that I know those sell good. And the other thing, what was the other thing? Oh, some manga books the set was worth $100.
But you didn't film?
I don't film at the thrift.
Why not?
I've noticed, just for me, on my channel, thrift videos do awful, and nobody on my channel that watches my channel wants to see me doing thrifts, from what I can tell. For the most part.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah, people would rather see garage sale footage.
Now, when we get to Ohio and Sonia, if Sonia's planning on going full-time reseller and YouTuber, we're gonna bring the old school resale channel will be revived, and then we will put thrifting content and what sold content on there once we get to Ohio. And
see how they're ganging up on me, Chris. 2-on-1 out at the sales. Now I got
you gotta get Jill to come.
But she's not going to be a full-time reseller though. She's just going to be, she has her practice that she has, her counseling practice. She's not going to be out there at the sales. I'm going to be picking against
reseller counselor.
She picked some stuff. She picked some cool stuff up for me. Yeah. Oh, actually, I haven't even seen it yet. Yesterday, she went to like a Goodwill in a different town. She was out and she picked up some stuff. I haven't even seen it yet. I would
Nice.
have to.
It'll be fun though.
Check that
We'll let Ken tag along and watch us pick all the good stuff.
Yeah, let him have the $10 items.
Yeah, I'll get all of the Full House figures and
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff, and the Stone Cold Steve Austin figures. Well, Jimmy loads up on Lion-O's, and
Hey, to be fair, you picked the Lion-O. I didn't pick the Lion-O.
So we are are you done, Jimmy? Are you done with that? You wanted to talk about, you didn't want to, you want to start the show over? Chris, go ahead, start the show over.
Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 47.